Dear friends, today we formally start our course, Mathematical Analysis for Economics. We will start by recollecting about Rn, the prototype space. You all know about Rn in the sense that you have studied calculus of several variables. We usually give examples in R2 and R3, but beyond R, you just keep on extending the number of coordinates. x1, x2, x3 could become x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 and so on. So what is Rn? Most of us know, I assume this course is a graduate course or people who are looking at this. Rn is an n-dimensional space. So the dimension word is slightly tricky and you have read about it in linear algebra most probably. It means that it is a space with say n coordinate axis. It's very difficult to imagine. What I want to say is that beyond R3, geometry is taken over by algebraic manipulations. So every vector x, so any element of Rn is called a vector. Every vector x in Rn is described by a coordinate of n real numbers, or which we call n tuple. So each xi's are called coordinates. So being a vector space, we need to define how the two most important operations on vector space, exactly two operations are there, that is vector addition and scalar multiplications, how they are performed. Because whole story of Rn can be based on these two operations, and that is what you will see in linear algebra. If you read Gilbert Strang's book, he writes that these two operations are the key to everything that you see in linear algebra, and it is so vastly powerful. So if x and y are two vectors in Rn, and you know that they have to be expressed in terms of coordinates. So if you add these two vectors x plus y, the new vector will have as coordinates, the first coordinate would be x1 plus y1 and the nth coordinate would be xn plus yn. For example, here you have written the coordinates x1, x2, xn. These are ordered. For example, if I take coordinates, instead of x, I switch the position of xn and x1. That is, now x1 takes the nth position, the numerical value, and xn takes the first position. Then this vector x is very different because the direction will change. Just play this game in two dimensions. X, y and yx are two different coordinates, two different vectors. Now there's this operation of scalar multiplication. Here scalar is nothing but a stylish name for the moment for any real number alpha. Later on we'll have the scalar to be a complex number also, but for the moment it is just a real number alpha. So when you scale a vector by a real number alpha, what you're doing is essentially you are increasing its length by alpha or decreasing its length by alpha. So new length becomes alpha times the length of x. And this vector in Rn, how do you get this alpha x? What are the coordinates? So you multiply every coordinate of x with alpha. So alpha x has the coordinates alpha of x1 dot dot of alpha of xn. Those who know about Cartesian product, and that is why I told in the beginning, think of it as it has n axes, like three-dimensional space has 3 axes, two-dimensional has 2 axes, and the real line has 1 axis only. So think of it as n axis. So you are multiplying. Rn can be viewed as a n-fold Cartesian product of R. You are taking the Cartesian product of R with itself n times. What is the use of this notion of Rn plus for an economist? In economics, one of the most important and maybe very popularly studied problem is the consumer's problem. So I am a consumer and I have to go to the market to buy things. So in the market there are commodities, and then in the market there are commodities, and these commodities are being sold in the market, and I have to go to that market and buy things. So there are suppose n commodities in the market. So x1, x2, xn represents the quantity of the commodities available maybe at a given time at a given place, say x1, x2, xn, x3, x4, xn is the amount of quantities available at say market A, while x1 dash, x2 dash, xn dash, this coordinate system, these coordinates represents the amount of quantities of the same stuff available at a different time in the same market, or at the same time in a different market. So please understand this. So any element x1, x2, xn could be viewed as a commodity. Now you can say, what about if x1, x2, xn is negative? I don't buy negative things. So I don't buy negative quantities. So if I put a negative quantity, I actually mean that I'm selling off certain things. But if I'm a consumer, I'm a household guy, I want to buy certain things, I would usually talk about all x in Rn. I'll take those x's in Rn whose coordinates are non-negative. That is, either I buy a thing or I don't buy a thing. I take a positive quantity of certain thing, or I don't buy a thing. I take 0. So the commodity space for a consumer who is supposed to buy certain things is being given by Rn plus. It is sometimes called the positive cone of Rn. That is, it's a collection of all x in Rn whose components are non-negative. Sometimes we will also need the more stricter set, the interior of Rn plus. We have not spoken about the interior. We will come into those details. Sometimes we'll speak about the set Rn plus plus, and that is the set of all x in Rn such that each of x size is strictly greater than 0. Okay. So with this, we will end this lecture. Just have a look and just get yourself seated in the space Rn.